Good morning, Dr. Rob. Just sharing some thoughts and ideas of the day and every day. I've been reading and learning and just digging into an understanding about food. And I don't understand food. But food is the energy that we are consuming in order to live, stay alive, thrive. And exactly what we need for the best energy, I don't think we really even get or understand it. We got 1,000 things that you should eat that will make you better and heal you. But the question is, what's hurting us and killing us? Or is it just natural for our bodies to decay over time? And there's no stopping that decay. My bet is there is no stopping that decay because everything decays, but it simply is moving into something else, and we're just little particles of the universe that have come together temporarily in this human being, but it's going to be something else. But in the meantime, we consume as if we're scavengers and bottom feeders of life and eating everything and anything, but that doesn't mean that that's the right thing. And somehow we've been led to believe that fruits and vegetables and fiber and whole grains and organic this is the best thing for us. Well, I'm not sure I really know or understand, but maybe we are meant to get fat. Maybe our bodies are really smart and we're addicted to carbohydrates because it knows that that's what gets us fat fast. Because it really doesn't care about next week or next year. It only cares about today and tomorrow to thrive and survive just long enough to reproduce and to keep moving in life. How do you keep moving in life? Well, we're led to believe that eating a low-fat diet with lots of green vegetables and whole grains is really the best thing, and an assortment of way too many things. And really, in that market that we go to, the supermarket, and we got all these super foods, is there really such a thing as a super food? Or really what we should do is begin to get it simple. I'm thinking simple is where I'm going. But we say the spice of life is variety, and I'm betting the spice of life is poison. And variety is what gets us sick. Now, boring? Well, it's better to have one mate and partner than several, because that's where the serial craziness of life begins. In too much variety, let's get to the boringness of our meals. And maybe we've been led to believe that fat is the killer, but in fact it's carbs, which I call them carbocaine, which ultimately is simple. It's sugar. And there's no such thing as a complex sugar and a simple sugar. There's only complex thinking and simple thinking. And I'm going for the simple here. The simplest answer is the one here, my friend. In the stomach, it always churns to that simple thing. And the body doesn't really know the difference. Our minds are way too complicated lately. Well, let's just say probably forever. Air and water. And my bet is that eating more fat is where it's at. That means saturated animal fat is probably nature's best fat, because every other fat is man-made, because you gotta squeeze it or process it, but simply to get it right from that animal is a hard thing to get. Maybe we can add some coconut oil, makes us feel good because it's saturated. But the truth be said, fat is what our mitochondria want. It's the thing that reduces inflammation. It keeps insulin and glucose right where they're meant to be. in their sweet low spot. But every time insulin and glucose goes up, or let's say glucose, then insulin goes up, inflammation, and the carbohydrate centers of the universe say, give me more, give me more. We're addicted to carbs. It's called carbocaine. And we keep on saying you need lots of fruits and fiber, lots of vegetables, but my bet is that our gut is becoming a compost heap, and there's way too much bacteria, fungus, and other bad stuff, and heat, and yuck. Yeah, that's a word here today. Eggs, bacon, butter, beef. That's my new sweet spot of food. My bet it's way simpler than we think. And all the fruits, vegetables, and fiber are causing the cancer and killing us. And everything is basically comes from inflammation. That's right. Our body is inflamed. And we're addicts. But we're meant to be that. Our body is smart because it wants us to eat and get fat. And it wants us to reproduce. Sometimes, quite often, we make lots of mistakes in the process. It may not be so simple as eliminating grains. I believe it's more complicated than that, but really it's simple because all the carbs are unnecessary because there's not one essential carbohydrate, and all the minerals and vitamins are actually obtained from healthy meat, fatty meat. I didn't believe it. You'll be hard-pressed to believe it because it's the carbs that actually stimulate the cholesterol, that make the inflammation, that cause the problems, not the cholesterol consumed or the fat consumed. That's the crazy part to this whole story. Fresh water. You don't have to drink too much. Keep the fat high, saturated fat high. Keep the protein minimal to moderate, and keep the carbs way down, low to no. Again, this is the hard story for all of us. We don't want to believe it. Doing something we don't believe in, that is our challenge. And I didn't believe this story. I'm a medical doctor that was taught that fruits, vegetables, fiber, and a low-fat diet is the key. Yet we're seeing cancer, heart disease, inflammation, Alzheimer's, dementia, irritable bowel, Crohn's, and in my business, it's infertility on the rise. And why? And we can't believe it. And I've learned that inflammation is the culprit, and it's because we're eating the crap, the junk food. But it isn't simply just potato chips and pizza and pasta, but it's yogurt, granola, fruits, fiber, vegetables, milk, brown rice, and let's just say it's likely even white stuff in white rice too. But we look around and we try to answer the question, and it's difficult to answer. But I say, if what you're doing isn't working, let's do something else, something opposite and crazy, and you see for yourself. But I'm going to tell you, I'm amazed. And at 60, well, in a month plus, no exercise in 5 years, I'm high school weight, my energy's amazing, and my brain, well, some people might say it's not working so right, but I think and believe it's the best it's ever been in ketosis. Read about ketosis. Dig into the understanding of the mitochondria and the cycle of energy, that you'll find that it's fat is the energy our body wants and desires, and it doesn't want the carbs to burn, but it wants it to store them. And in that storage, That's where the inflammation comes, in the process of eating and storing. And the gut is inflamed with the tremendous amount of plant sources, with tremendous amount of antigens that are inflammation to our bodies everywhere. Read Good Calories, Bad Calories, Grain Brain, Wheat Belly, Keto Adaptive Diet by Maria Emmerich, and check out Mind, Body, Smile, CNY Healing Arts, CNY Fertility, and Dr. Rob's Mind, Body, Health to come. Do what you don't believe in, and then you'll change a belief and a habit, and you'll be amazed.